it seems to be for many of us, it seems to be not our experience that consciousness, awareness is the experience. The conditioned mind is a great pretender, faking that I, separate self, am listening, that I, the person, am thinking, that my eyes are seeing, that my ears are hearing, that my senses are feeling, touching. But in reality, only consciousness can listen to these words right now. Only consciousness sees, hears, feels. In reality, there is only consciousness. How could something else or someone else be experiencing what is happening? There is a famous sloka in the Kena Upanishad referring to this. I'll paraphrase what I remember. Might be not 100% correct. It is not what the ears hear, but that by which the ears can hear, that we hear, adore as Brahman, the one eternal. It is not that which the eyes see, but that by which the eyes can see, that we hear, adore as the eternal Brahman. It is not what the mind thinks, but that by which the mind can think, that we here adore as Brahman. There is two ways to interpret this famous sloka. Usually it is used in the teachings to point the difference between that which perceives and that which is perceived. Awareness and the objects in awareness. I am that which is aware and the objects are something else. Neti process called very often. I am not this, I am not that, I am not this, I am not that. I am that awareness which is aware of what I see, of what I hear, of what I perceive. And there is a deep truth in that. But there is another way, or not another, and a deeper way to interpret this sloka. Because in the first interpretation, there is still duality. There is someone, awareness in that case, or consciousness, that is real, and there are the things that are not real, the objects that are perceived, and only the perceiver is real. But we haven't dissolved the subtle duality yet in this way of seeing, of understanding experience. And then Maharaji, Nemkaroli Baba, and others must have been wrong when they say it's all one. So to come into the seeing of that it's truly all one, and I feel that's what this sloka was pointing to. To see that the totality of our experience, the wholeness of our experience as it really is, always, does not know this separation, even that subtle duality. Not our ears are hearing, but consciousness is hearing, awareing, experiencing. There are no ears in reality. Ears is a form of awareing, of consciousness. It is consciousness that is hearing. It is consciousness that is seeing. It is consciousness that is thinking. Last week, I think we spoke about Satchitananda briefly, being consciousness, contentment, peace, bliss. Another way to see consciousness is to look, to hear, to see, to feel from the perspective of the totality of our experience. Not from a fragment, separate person, not from a fragmented mind, but to be aware of music, of thought, of words, of feelings, of the heat, the sensations, everything at once. To see that the true experiencer, the true experience of life is this totality. That in reality there are no fragments, no parts. Sometimes Brahman reality, ourself, is referred to as the eternal witness. Just observing the play. But if we dive deep down into our, not how we think it is, but really allow thinking, feeling, perceiving, allow the totality of our experience to arise and dissolve in our consciousness, we may see that it's not just a witnessing consciousness. It's a experiencing consciousness. It's a awareing, a knowing consciousness. It's witnessing, experiencing, knowing, or witnessing, experiencing, awareing, always in the same time. It knows, it is aware, it sees, and it experiences. Of course, it doesn't experience like the human faculties through the filters of thought or the senses, but in the final depths of understanding, we see that the senses, the mind, like in this Upanishad, are made of consciousness, are consciousness. There is no duality in reality, it's imagined. Like this very famous Buddhist sutra. Form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. This is a very powerful pointer to the final collapse of duality.